Okay, so I'm Brett Getman. I'm here with Oasis Seated Shower. I'm here with Nate Spencer. He's the other head honcho here that puts everything together. We're going to show you just how easy it is to completely on the pallet. When your Oasis arrives, it'll look just like this. We're going to show you just how easy it is to unpackage, assemble, and then hook it up to your shower. It only takes about, with two people, about 20 minutes, give or take. And about all the tools you're going to need. It's nice to have a pair of wire cutters to cut through some packaging. It's nice to have a pair of scissors for the same. And I also like to have a roll of duct tape is handy, so that way if you have any cords that you want to secure against the wall and prevent trip hazards, it's also nice as well. So without further hesitation, this is how the Oasis is going to come to you from the truck. It'll be palletized like this. It'll have two of these for purposes of demonstration. We just did one. You cut it, it's that simple. Now we're going to go ahead and take the cardboard off. This lid slips right off. Set it aside. Cardboard is held together with staples. Pop the staples off. And then the whole thing lifts right out. First thing you want to grab is your, I'm going to call it the goodie box. This is where you got all your accessory items. When the Oasis arrives to you, one of the first things you want to do is check it for damage. Okay, of course, if there's any damage, give us a call right away and we'll file a freight claim for you. So in your goodie box, you're going to have your poster that gives you operating instructions for the handheld. You're going to have your shower support system. You're going to have your fill hose, your handheld, your operating handheld. This is the shower handheld. Then you're going to have your top works. They're all packaged like this. I'll show you how to take one together and put it together. Your nozzle hardware, your collar rings, and we'll show you how to, let's go ahead and do one so you see how that all works. So take one of these, like that. Okay, so take your collar ring. First thing you want to do is slip that collar ring, that nut, over down to the bottom. Then, okay, here's your nozzle. Also helps to make sure that this is free of obstruction in case any packaging slipped up in there. You can do a quick visual. You can also blow on it. Thread that nozzle right on there. Okay, and so that's how you set one of those up. It's as simple as that, no tools required. And here in a second, I'll show you how we'll install one on. So what we'll do is finish taking all this off. Set that aside. Get this unpackaged. Let's go ahead and lift this off. Okay. Move that to the side. And then the best thing to do, you can slide this off the pallet. If you have the luxury of two people, probably the easiest thing to do is to just person get on each side. You can lift it right out of this packaging and onto the floor. Let's go ahead and do that. Simple as that. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and clean up this mess, and then I'll go ahead and show you how to actually attach everything and get it hooked up to the wall. Okay, so I got the mess cleaned up and we got everything unpackaged. I went ahead and got the first two on, and just remember you put the collar on first, then you put the nozzle on, and they just go right on hand tight. And as simple as that. They thread right on. You can still move them around. Later we'll show you just how we hook the handheld up to that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get the fill hose started. Comes packaged with 2 zip ties. There you go. So you got your fill hose. You have your adapter that you're going to hook to the supply elbow. A lot of times in facilities, there'll be a flow restrictor or a reducer already mounted on there. You want to go ahead and remove that because it's going to reduce the flow of water to the Oasis. You want your supply elbow to just be a pipe like this sticking right out. And it's as simple as you take this little piece, thread it on. There's usually already Teflon tape as a thread protector already on there. If there isn't, you can put some on. That just prevents leaks and prevents you from having to reef this down. Hand tight is just fine. You take your hose and you just connect it right in there, and it's in. Now there's 2 ways to remove the hose. One way of disconnecting it is to actually pull up on the flange and pull it out again, just the way you put it in. And I'll repeat that. Push, pull the ring up, and pull it out. Or to even do it easier, on the brass component, you lift up on that collar and pull the whole thing out. Really easy to do, doesn't require tools, just like an air compressor fitting. Okay, so as you can see, we give you plenty of fill hose. You probably won't need this much in a real life setting. You might, but if you don't, and if you find out it's too much, go ahead and figure out exactly how much room you want. You can cut this hose to fit. I would recommend doing that. And then once you put the hose in, it's as simple. Let me turn this around. The same type of flange that you had here that goes in here. You'll just push the hose in and you're in. It's that simple. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and put on the handheld controller. Go ahead and set that right there. There's the end. You might have to dig around a little bit. It'll be hanging right here, but you'll find it and you'll pull it out. There's 4 prongs with a notch that you'll line up. And then you just thread it into place. Hand tight is just fine. Okay, just another little subtle tip of the trade. When you have the caster units that move around from room to room a lot, one nice thing to do is just take a piece of duct tape after you've installed this and just put it there, just to lift it up out. Just makes transporting a little bit easier. Okay, so one of the last steps here is we actually have the handheld. We're going to take the hose. Comes with a couple gaskets. So you'll put a gasket in there. Okay, the longer end is the one that goes into the actual handheld. Okay, hand tight. This end, you'll notice it looks more like a nut. That end, put the gasket in, and this works great for installing on the center top works for not only the cleaning procedures, but also if you're trying to wash in the armpit, skin fold areas. This handheld works great. Okay, simple as that. Okay, and then next we're going to go ahead and show you how to install the shower support system. I've taken the liberty of already installing that side. I'll show you how you put it on this side. It's real simple. It'll come out of the box like this. You just loop through there, up through this buckle, and then back down through the other side. You have further adjustment that can be done here as well. You can pull these and adjust them there. You can also push that clip and open it up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and insert the power cord. It's a 3-prong power cord. Then you're going to plug this into a GFCI outlet 110. And it's really important where you position the external compressor. You want it out of the shower environment, so out of the stall, behind the curtain, in, away from the shower environment. So every shower is unique and different, but go ahead and put some thought into how you want to position the unit, how you want to route the umbilical cord, and how you want to position your compressor. Okay, so we've got everything unpackaged, we've got everything put together. Now we're down to the point where we're ready to actually start prepping the unit for operation. The first thing we need to do is get the water temperature set. So I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect it here. I pushed down on that ring and removed it. Then your water and your temperature is controlled here at the shower valve in the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, run it, point it to the drain, and get my optimal temperature. Okay, once I've got the temperature I like, I'm going to go ahead and remember where my setting is. Go ahead and turn it off. Push it back in. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on to right where it was. And now we're ready to go ahead and start operating. Okay, so we've hooked up the water and now we're ready to go ahead and turn it on. You'll notice there is a priming button right here where that little faint circle is. That's the priming button. In my experience, since the water is pressurized going into the Oasis, I've actually never had to use that. So all we have to do is, on the right side here, there's an on-off switch that's illuminated when it's on. Once again, just making sure the compressor unit is outside the water environment, you can just go ahead and push the button shower. And this will go through a quick little water test. Make sure there's a presence of pressure and water temperature. You can read about that as well in the manual. And it takes about 90 seconds to go through this quick little startup. It's only a one-time startup process at the beginning of the day. Okay, so we pushed the shower button to start it up, and it went through its paces. Took about 60 to 90 seconds. And now we got the ready light. That means that the Oasis sensed the hot water and the pressure that it needed to go ahead and begin operation. Okay, so we're all done for the day, for the shift. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. Real simple, you just push the done button, and what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and purge all the soap and shampoo out of the unit, as well as then use pneumatic forces to expel all the water and blow air through the lines to clean them out. And notice the sound of the air expelling. The bags are going to start to collapse, and you saw the unit rock back a little bit. Those rear probes came down, and now that essentially releases the brakes and allows the unit to be mobile. You can roll it on the casters.